It's the next day, so it's time to inoculate these jars. Got my still air box set up here, my 2 jars. This is a fresh needle, and this is a syringe of reishi mushroom, or live culture. And I'm going to inoculate both of these jars with the reishi. First thing I'm going to do is replace this old needle. Be careful to not spill any culture out of this syringe, because once you do, oh no. There we go. Some of these syringes, whenever you remove the needle, it'll just be exposed to the open air. Thankfully, this one isn't like that. If I were going to reuse the needle, this needle here, I would need to remove it from the still air box and sterilize it with a blowtorch. I'm not going to use this needle again, so I didn't bother doing that this time. After I inoculate one of these grain jars, whenever I pull the syringe back out, I am going to remove it from the still air box and sterilize it with a torch. I'm going to grab an alcohol pad. So I can sterilize the injection site. I wonder if the person that made the Dr. MYC culture mix, if they got the idea for the doctor part, because when you inoculate these jars, it does feel like you're kind of a doctor or nurse. The needles that I bought from Tractor Supply a while ago, I got the wrong length. I got the right gauge, which is 16, but you really want your needle to be 1.5 inches, and I bought 1/2-inch needles, a 30 pack. So I'm going to be using them for a little while, but I'm not going to repeat that mistake. So I'm going to take this out of the still air box, and I'm going to sterilize it with a blowtorch. before I inoculate the next jar. Now I'm talking like a legit blowtorch. I'm going to open another alcohol pad 4. So once I sterilize the needle with the flame, I'm going to wrap it with the alcohol pad before moving it into the still air box. You want the needle to get hot enough that it's glowing red. The entire needle. These syringes are made out of polypropylene, which are very heat resistant. But you don't want to hold the syringe itself directly in the line of the flame. But you also don't have to be so cautious that you end up not actually sterilizing the flame properly. I sterilize the flame. You don't sterilize the needle properly. I'm going to add another or a layer of micro spore tape on top of the filter patch I already have here. If you notice, there was some of the live culture media came out of the jar. It probably happened in the pressure cooker while it was boiling. So I should probably put a little less liquid in the jars. I took a look and the 1/2-inch needle made it all the way through. I think the mycelium clumped up in the tip of the needle. Probably while I was sterilizing it, might have cooked some of the mycelium that was left or that was in the syringe, but that's just a guess. The next step is I'm going to label these jars. Always make sure you label your jars. I've made that mistake before in the past where it's like, I'll know what it was. No, I didn't, and you probably won't either.